What up, y'all? Welcome back to Slum World Network. You already know who it is. It's your boy, Project Slum, little king of the slum business, the boy Buns, and I'm back with another reaction. If y'all don't know, I don't normally do too many relationship podcasts, reaction conversations, but I think I might start because for this reaction today, we got this eight at the table conversation where it's the topic is pretty much the truth about independent women. And I don't think y'all know, like I get triggered like a lot, especially from uncommon sense and what's the word? Being incompetence. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. But hold up, if y'all new to the channel, man, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. Y'all get all my post notifications every time I post these videos. Now, don't forget, I got a special on the subscription button for the next 2 weeks where you can get a free subscription. It's free. The button's free. Just hit it. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Not be allowed to be associated with our ethnic background if that's how you're going to display yourself, right?
Okay, again, you have to have leaders who are going to operate like that. We rarely see grown men checking other grown men for their piss poor behavior. We rarely see grown women checking other grown women of the same community for their piss poor behavior. So until that is acceptable again, and I think that comes from community. So until we have that same kind of community again, I just don't think we're going to be able to get to the point where that you're referencing.
But we have to.
Yeah, I don't even know who she is, but I can already tell you she's going to be the one to trigger me. She's definitely going to be the one to trigger.
Emotional damage.
Let's continue.
In order to do that, we have to devalue the money, because we value money so much that if you are doing something that is piss poor, but you're finding a way to make it beneficial, which is really because whoever is the higher ups are going to make sure that you are that representation and continue to fund it.
So how do you do that?
We have to be able to, the start would be able to say, you know what? I don't care if you're getting a bag.
No. How do you devalue the money?
Yeah.
Well, you could kind of start by not holding people in high regard just because they are financially more well off than you. That's a start, right? Where we just sit there, especially in the black community, where women be like, if you don't make $300,000 a year, you a brokey. Just because a guy makes $300,000 a year don't mean he's a leader. Don't mean he's somebody that you should follow. And that could go for a lot of things, not just relationships.
We'll go back to having a community.
It goes back to having the public voices not justify bad behavior because of the monetary success that it has. I cannot go on here and say, yo, you know what? BMF is one of the greatest of all time. No, you killed millions in our community, or you have affected millions in our community. A woman can't go up here and say, yo, you know what? Dancing like Sexy Red and Glorilla and talking about popping your pussy is acceptable.
Glorilla and Sexy Red is not the same, just FYI.
We do not care.
I'm just saying, because I've heard Glorilla say it too, right?
She does, but she ain't
I'm not
talking about her booty hole.
Ma'am, does it matter? Horror music is horror music. Just to be honest with you. And that's, don't get me wrong, I rock with Sexy Red and Glorilla, but horror music is horror music, man. It is what it is. They're both not good for the community. When you see and you speak, when you understand, like pretty much when you listen to the basis of the topics of their music, it's not good for the community. Doesn't matter if they do it a little different. They still both not good.
Brown.
But my thing is this.
Ain't no Sexy Red.
But my thing is this. None of it is tolerated on any level, right? Sexy Red is probably the umph. She might be a 10 and Glorilla might be a 6 or a 7. But none of it should be tolerated. None of it should be endorsed by us, right? And if we don't endorse it, then and it starts from here, then it allows us to actually progress. You mentioned something in a group chat the other day saying how, you wish, or not that this is not verbatim, please correct me, that you wish that men and women of our color and our native backgrounds did not see sports as the only option, right? Which
rapping.
it was sports and rapping as the only option, right? Which obviously, if you play football, you already know the odds are of you, or any sport, you know the odds of you actually making this successful is very slim. But yet you dedicate your whole life to this, and then you don't do anything to benefit, you know, your intellect or your education, right? So when we all say these different things, this is where it has to start. The start is here.
Going on, like everybody's not going to be an athlete, but just because your child ain't an athlete or a singer or an actor don't mean that they won't be successful in something. We just got to figure out what it is that our child is good and great at, and then we got to nurture them in that, to nurture that behavior for them to be successful. But yeah, I don't feel we should get away from the sports and the entertainment, because that is where most of our community is getting and generating the wealth from.
We have enough impact for people to say, yo, you know what? All right, let me make sure the children that I have now, I'm going to start telling them, hey, listen, you are 6'5". You don't need to resort to basketball. You know what I'm saying? But it might be beneficial.
That's why I was like, wait a minute.
But again, we can't look at
6'5".
Yeah.
It's also
but
Maybe tennis, or pitcher.
Right.
So this is a perfect example. Like 6'5", you probably have a bit more athletic prowess than the average person.
Right.
So I think it's okay to expose your kid to these other things. But if they also show that they're good at like art, or they can do like back of the napkin math very easily, or they have like some savant type memory. Like, I mean, put them in math camp and like basketball camp or something. But like, they have to see something else. And that's why I always say, like, it's very hard to be something if you don't see it. Right. You know, and I know a lot of people.
I can agree with that to an extent. I definitely can agree with that. I just said it. They gotta see something else. Like, you gotta expose them to something else if they're not athletically or entertainment or, you know what I'm saying, academically talented. They have to figure something out. You get what I'm saying? Teach them a hustle. Anything.
Are against like organizations like Jack and Jill because it's for the bourgeoisie, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, these organizations are not all bourgeoisie kids. And a lot of times you're able to see people and meet people and their parents who do things you never knew existed. And so I remember I was like in 4th grade, my classmate, his dad was like, and literally just maybe until a year or two ago, was the CEO of Texas Children's Hospital in Houston. So pretty much all my life. And I remember being at their house. I didn't even realize how rich they were. I remember being at their house and somebody was talking about a thoracic surgeon. And so I don't know if I went and looked it up in an encyclopedia or did something. I was like, you know what? Shit, that's what I want to be.
You talking? What he say, Z? Because I don't know.
I ain't even like science like that, but I wanted to be a thoracic surgeon, you know? And I think that if you're a kid and you just keep saying that, and then you dive into it at some point and you get some type of exposure, you might just end up being a thoracic surgeon. If not, maybe a general surgeon, a plastic surgeon, anything. But until you're exposed to it, you have no idea that it's even possible.
Right.
You literally.
I mean, but you wanted to be a thoracic surgeon, but you never ended up being a thoracic surgeon. So just because you heard somebody say that that's what they wanted to be and you felt like that's what you wanted to do because you didn't know what it was, doesn't mean you're gonna grow into that or become and go into that field. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what she's saying, but I'm like, I halfway agree, but I don't.
I have no idea.
I think that's part of the problem is in a lot of communities, they don't necessarily have access to these resources. And that's part of why you're thinking your only way out is either through music or sports, because those are things that everyone can see. You can watch the Super Bowl, you can watch a basketball, you can listen to rap music, right? But you may not have in your school, they're not teaching you entrepreneurship.
No school is teaching you entrepreneurship at all. They've never taught entrepreneurship in school. They stopped teaching skills in school, like STEM field, trades and stuff like that. They stopped teaching that in my generation. They stopped teaching that in school. But
Say, like, your community, and that's part of the problem. You have to see it. It has to be something tangible for you to be like, oh, you were exposed to that. It was very close to you. So you're like, this is something I can do.
I saw something
before I don't. What she just said, she was like, pretty much just they don't have to push the kids into sports, but I'm like, or kids don't have the access to resources, so they feel that they gotta only do that. But I don't think kids think about it like that, because when I was a kid, I didn't think about it like that. I just knew I wanted to play a sport or certain sports, or I wanted to get into activities and be into sports, but I ended up being good at the sport, and that kind of took over. It wasn't so much of like, as a kid, like lack of opportunities. No. Black kids in our community are just naturally talented. So, of course, we're going to go into them fields because those, like, we're just naturally good at them. And if you know you got a chance to change your family life because you naturally gifted in a certain sport, I mean, it's not that you don't have access to the resources, because when you talented in anything, people will help you with resources. It's like, I was like, as if you were a good athlete and you were in 10th grade and you fire, but you were coming from a bad home, chances are coaches, most people that know your situation that's close to you, gonna understand what you got going on, and they're gonna help you. So it's not so much that they choosing it because they feel like they don't have access to the resources. It's just literally that they're naturally gifted in the skill, in the field of that. So that's what they choose to do.
LeVar Ball the other day, and he played professional football, right? And he, I don't know, maybe practice squad, something. Yeah, I don't know.
Practice squad.
He said, how'd you feel after, you were out? He's like, I didn't care. He said, I had all that money. And he said, I knew I had a jump start on life, and that was good enough for me.
But that's one of the things that I think, and I don't know the reason.
But Sexy Red can do. I'm just saying, she could be like
a Black China, Angela White. Yeah, it's so hard. It's like if I was and I hate to say this, let's just say I was a thief my entire life, and I made millions stealing. And I said, you know what, guys?
You was more than a thief if you making millions.
Yeah, and them heist movies. And I said, you know what, guys? I'm done doing heists. I want to do things the right way. Everybody's going to be like, nah, you've already burnt your integrity. Like, we always think that we can regain our integrity after we've publicly destroyed it.
I think in America you can.
Yeah, there's
so many redemption stories.
Yeah.
Like, I think in America you can.
They love a good redemption story.
Nah, redemption is different than something like doing something one time when you were younger or a couple times when you were younger, but then you made that your career.
Yeah.
And it is different. And the experience, I will say, from dating different ethnic backgrounds, when I date, in comparison to when I date an American Black woman, is the American Black woman is like, if this was a chicken and the egg thing, they have to come first. They're like, what can you do for me? Versus all the other ethnic backgrounds is, what can I do for you as the Black man? Right? So and in return, we shower her with whatever it is that we have. So it's like, if I have
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
It's like, if I have a Spanish woman, and I'm like, the first time
I get where you going, Rico. I was about to call him Ace, but Rico. But I'm not all the way there. You got to reel me in, bro.
I meet her, or whatever, and it's not in Colombia, it's not in DR, it's in America, right?
Okay.
And the way she's going to treat you is going to be different from the very, very, very beginning.
Okay.
Right? It's like, I might have to earn her trust, but I have to earn her trust with her body. With a Black American woman, I have to earn her trust in an entirely different way. Right? And it's like, I'm coming to you guilty before innocent.
Right. Listen, so here's the thing. I'm not disagreeing with you in terms of cultural, like, it's going to have an impact, right? Because even if you take Caribbean, African, whatever, yes, women are taught a little bit different. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand that, yes, like I was taught to having to take out my husband's plate, take care of him, clean, do this, do that. I understand that men enjoy that. What I'm saying to people like him and everything like that, right? There's a cultural reason for that. You can't be mad at Black women and just discount them and say, I'm not even rocking with you guys because you don't do that. Like you just said, what are you going to do for me? How about what are we going to do for each other? Let me teach you how to love me. Let me teach you how to treat me and teach me how to treat you. You don't have to discount an entire race.
Bitch, fuck y'all.
We have a duty. If we're gonna be together, I feel we got a duty. You got a job you need to do, and I got a job I need to do. It's not about all this. Let me teach you how to love me, and let me teach you how to love. No, just be loyal and do your job. That's it. But a lot of women in our community don't like the job that come with relationship and even being a parent.
If you're saying something wrong, you're saying something wrong. Yeah. This is not true. Black men are in the houses. Black men are taking care of their kids. Black men are great fathers and providers. I don't care if they make $40,000 a year or they make $100,000 a year. They are still good providers.
Because culturally, it's different. It's not the same, and that's okay.
Is this for the men that are saying they don't date Black women? And for these
you know
men,
what it is? Ultimately, Rome.
Did he include like African and
Yeah, he dates Africans, he dates Caribbean, he dates different
so he was talking about American.
Specifically has
women.
issues with like Black African American women.
Okay.
And like I'm so tired of hearing it.
But
Like, I'm
Marie,
tired of
you gotta,
hearing that.
You gotta understand that.
Like, be part of the solution. Shut the hell up.
Who the fuck you think you talking to?
Shut the hell up or be part of the solution. I am tired of hearing Black men degrade Black women. Like,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
okay, I understand you want to be treated a certain way. So rather than sitting there and like putting your foot on somebody's neck, like, you know what? This is my experience, but I want to be with a Black woman, right? Let me meet somebody who's my counterpart. You don't have to meet somebody who's not your counterpart. Like, men will date the worst women.
What the fuck? Emotional damage.
What does that mean? If most men are saying that they have this same type of experience with most of the women in a specific ethnic group, ma'am, clearly the numbers outweigh your logic. Like, you speaking in a fallacy and we speaking in like actual things. Like, it's not pleasant. Not all the time, no, because it's like a fight for order in the relationship. You don't have to fight for order. Shouldn't have to. Structure. But there's been so much propaganda propagated to our community, and our women have been psyoped. They've been the main source of a psyop on the Black family for so long that they don't even realize it, and they have Stockholm syndrome. I'm triggered, y'all. Y'all could tell I'm triggered. I'm fucking triggered.
So look, that's what I'm saying it. He said it. So it's like this. If I have the odds of a 60-40 split, I'd rather not gamble. Right? It's more. It's harder to find something that's going to be in my favor than it is that isn't, even if it's close.
But I don't think that's what she's saying. I think what she's saying is that if your desire is to be with somebody else, go beat your feet, do what you want to do. But there's there's no reason for you to down black. Like you don't ever hear, like you rarely hear anybody be like, man, I love white women, or like a white guy. I love black women. Man, I can't stand these white hoes. They always not taking baths and they got greasy hair and they always acting crazy, asking for the manager in the store.
Right.
They just let them be. And then they just go and deal with the black woman that they want to deal with. You don't ever hear them like down their own. Mexican people too. Mexican men, if they love a white woman, they're not downing Mexican women. They just go and they get them they white queen and go and eat tamales with mayonnaise if they want to. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. I'm just saying it appears, because I don't want to say all and I don't want to say absolute, but it really does appear that it is black American men who consistently and very loudly and proudly and in front of everybody, they have to like put down black American women in order to show love or in order to like show love to the woman that they pick. Why do you have to?
It's not about that. It's very simple. We're gonna go right back to I'm gonna take a page out of Aaron's book and say we're bringing shame back. Okay, I'm going to publicly, because I don't like the fact that we are having this situation within our community. So I'm going to publicly tell, because it's not just the ones that I'm sitting next to, it's the ones that are even.
I mean, he got a point. Because it's like, shit, I can't tell. I mean, I can't tell you because you ain't listening. You not going to change. Can't nobody change you. You don't listen to nobody. You got it. So at the end of the day, shame. Just like, I don't know, I believe in shaming. I'm sorry. I bring shaming back. Bring shaming back. I grew up off shaming. I grew up off cracking jokes. I grew up off clowning people. I grew up off picking on people, making them feel bad and laughing at them. That's how I grew up. And it gave me so much character. You know what I'm saying?
Out there that I want to be able to reach out to and tell them, when I say we, I'm speaking on his behalf, we don't like this, right? Now, it's not about, and I'm going to say again, there's a lot more what it appears to be that are, there's a lot more bad ones than there are good ones in comparison to the other ethnic backgrounds.
That's nonsense. Let me explain to you.
He ain't lying.
That's a fact. That's a fact. It's more bad women in the black community. And I ain't gonna lie, I never really dated outside the community. I probably dated a couple, but not really much. 95.5%, I'm gonna say 97% of the women I dated was all black. So, I don't really know about other races, but I do know they get married more now. You get what I'm saying? They get divorced as much too, but they have families. And they families don't go through. They women don't think like our women. They families don't go through what we go through. Like, it's different.
Here's the thing I don't understand, right? We talk about this need for community. We talk about this need for village, right? I'll give you a perfect example, right? And we'll use the Nation of Islam. Like when they stepped on the scene, what did they do? What were the black African American women doing? They made sure that they took the women in. They taught the women how to treat the men in leadership position in the Nation of Islam, right? They took the African American women and said, we don't want you working for the white man. We don't want you doing this.
Nobody fucking cares. You thought I agree with you? Nobody fucking cares.
We're not gonna let you do that. We're not gonna sit there and let you use the Nation of Islam as an example when you just said other families, other cultures are different. You just said they're different.
Right? there's a cultural reason for that. You can't be mad at black women and just discount them and say, I'm not even rocking with you guys, because you don't do that.
You talking, but he say Z, because I don't know.
Now you trying to compare it to make it line up to what you saying by saying that the men need to be leaders. First off, that's not going to work, because no man wants his woman, no other man, to be leading their woman. That's why men don't go to church, because the women look to the pastor more than they look to their husband, and they don't want that. Even in the Bible, God says you need to put your husband before anything. The order of God is God, Jesus Christ, your husband. Not God, Jesus Christ, your pastor, then your husband, then your kids, then you, then your husband. No. But now she want to use being Muslim and the culture of Muslims in the religion of Muslims to justify and try to hold a whole community to the same standard as a religious doctrine. If you don't believe that family is important and that a community is important, and to do that on your own, then you're not going to believe. What about Muhammad is going to make you believe in family and culture? And the women that's in that religion always already thought about family and understood what the culture was and what being what a man meant to society. A good man.
He ain't lying.
Her husband, don't nobody know. We know that nigga just stabbed me. That's it. You don't even see him. You don't even see him at all. You don't see Stedman. You don't know nothing about Stedman, because his woman is the one that make the most money, and she the boss baby and everything. You don't know him. He didn't elevate off Oprah's money and Oprah's wealth. But guess what? You got mad women out here sit there and go get pregnant by a rapper, go get pregnant by an athlete, go get pregnant by somebody of some status of success, and guess what? They come up. Women come up off men. Men don't come up off women. I'm trying to tell you, they've been psyoped. The past 50 years that the black woman has been the head of the household, they've been psyoped. That's the psyop. Them being the head of the household, taking the man out the house to make them feel they are the boss. And that is all it took. Now we got this. She triggering me because she don't understand what he's saying, and she trying to use other cultures to justify what her position. But she earlier said that women are raised different. So if they raised in a different culture, you can't blame black women. And she be tired of black men calling out black women because they call out black women and comparing them to women who raised differently. But now you trying to use that same stance to justify men not being good enough, black men not being good enough leaders. How that make sense?
You what you needed. So what I am saying to black men, if you don't like the way women are being treated or are doing, then step up. People can learn. No, because people.
That sounds like she want black men to be physical and beat they women like the Muslims do in Islam on Sundays. Now, I'm just saying that's what Myra said. He's like, he only do it on Sundays. But I don't know if he was joking or not. But what I'm saying is, in the Quran, for Muslims, because I'm on, no offense to none of the Muslims, I'm not trying to say ain't got nothing to do with no Muslim. I'm just saying she used the culture of Muslims as of Islam, or the religion of Islam, as a stance to compare to black men. So I'm just using that same stance. Muslim, the Islam, and it says you can beat your wife. It says you can beat your wife. So, and I'm not saying the Muslims beat their wife. I'm just saying in the religion, the same doctrine, she trying to tell men the whole day they got to be like these people. She telling black men to be like these people. Yeah, they also say you could beat your wife too if she's insubordinate. But black women, that's what I'm trying to say. What she's saying, it sounds like she wants black. When you say step up, what you mean step up? What do you mean? Black men already raised, black men in general already raised single parent men already raised children better. Children do better with the man in their life. Men already understand this. We know this. Y'all don't get it. Y'all think y'all got all the answers and y'all don't need a man because y'all focus on yourself and not the. This is why families don't prosper with women in leads. With the woman in the lead position, because she thinks for herself the children to be fine. But guess what she gonna do? She gonna put money in the daughter going to college. She ain't gonna invest the money and everything that she needs to invest in the son. Because guess what? The son is the person that take care of the family when everybody get old. He the one that take care of the family, the man. But other cultures understand that. Our culture don't though. This is what she's not getting. She's arguing for stuff she don't even understand.
It happened widespread.
Even if we take that example and I look at the black women as a whole at that point in time frame, you're saying that there was a small percentage that were coachable, moldable, and able to learn.
And they're not coachable anymore.
No, I'm saying that that's a small percentage of the rest.
No, but what she's saying is she's giving you.
I'm giving you an example that it's possible.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about anything.
See, they're not even listening to understand. They talking about what they saying. He get what they saying because he's still saying it's only a little bit. The ones that she's saying is willing to learn, it's only a small percentage. As to the whole majority.
Fucking possible. Right? Possibilities are endless. What we're talking about is the reality. The reality is when it comes down to it, the symptom of a cause is that there is uncoachable, and I feel like there's uncoachable African American descendant women for at least 3 generations, which is what we were talking about prior to. And the symptom of that, again, is the lack of being able to follow. What I realize is there's a struggle for equality in the very beginning of a American black man and American black woman relationship versus the other ethnic backgrounds are not even looking for equality.
I said that already.
They just will get equality with their behavior. And when I have to explain to you what my worth is, or when I have to demonstrate what my worth is, endless. It's like our culture, I'm saying our in terms of the African American culture. Our culture the men have to constantly prove and be battle tested throughout the entirety of the relationship. It's not just the beginning.
I don't think it's fair to compare the
Right. There's no point where the black man actually gets that trust. No matter what he do. He could not cheat. He could pay the bills. He could be funny. He could be everything. It's still gonna be something to where they can't just you know what? I put all my trust and all my faith in this man, and he going to take care and hold the family down. Like it's never that ever. You don't even get a 6-month trial of that just to see. Like they don't even give you no pre-subscription.
He ain't lying.
Like none of that. But you show them that you already could be that in the beginning anyway. And I don't know. Let's keep going.
African American experience to like in terms of the diaspora and everything else, you can't compare it.
Huh?
It's so it's like the way you're
You were just comparing it. See, this is why I'm triggered. She just compared how black men supposed to live and think and compared them to Islam and Muslims. Like you just did. But this is what I mean. They using it they using these like word they just the combative, the need to be right. That's definitely what's going on. The need to be right is on 10. Like they not even trying to understand nothing.
Rating these things is unfair
because their parents aren't even the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect example. If you're a first generation American and both of your parents are foreign, you're like American in name only.
Right.
You are culturally still whatever it is, wherever your parents are from. So maybe you need 2 more generations like down the line to call yourself American. And the ironic thing is that you hear about a lot of like the passport bros, they talk about when the foreign women become Americanized,
right,
that they don't like them anymore either. So I really don't think that it's I don't think it's like a black, it's not like a black American, white American, whatever. It's truly American culture. Because if you've grown up in a society for the last X amount of years where women actually have been fighting to have access to equal rights, then why would you not have that in you to be seeking equal rights on?
Who the fuck you think you talking to?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
No. First of all, black women, this is feminism talking points right here. Black people in general have been fighting for equal rights. Black women and men. Black men don't got more rights than black women. The only right we had was to fight in wars and die. Right? If we don't got more rights, that's feminism propaganda that she talking, because white women didn't have rights until so-called didn't have rights. Really, the only reason why they couldn't buy houses and own land is because that's when they didn't have rights. But they had that, pretty much their husband had to own it, not them. But that's only because the men also had the right to vote, only because they fought in the wars. So fighting in the war and serving for your country gave you more rights back then. And the men took care of the family, supposedly, back then. But that had nothing to do with black women, because black women and black men was in the same situation, both poor slaves. So what is she talking about? This is feminism propaganda that she talking right here. I'm telling you, I'll be triggered.
Job, at school, in your relationship, so on and so forth. And like my Nigerian friends, like I still have friends who literally they're Nigerian. When like if I'm not in Nigeria with them, they literally bow to their uncles when they see them. Literally.
I'm telling you again. You see how they keep using other cultures as an example, holding black men according to the standard of other cultures when it appeases them. But when it comes to Rico holding them accountable, just off logic, not even using other cultures as an example, they blame the fact that it's other cultures. Oh, that's a different culture. They're raised like that. But then you sitting there and bypass them being raised like that, and this because this is their culture. You bypass that when it comes to the men. You bypass the fact that you comparing these other men who was raised different to the same men that was raised in the same circumstances as you. See, man, the women it's like they use everybody else's lifestyle as an example of why black men ain't better. But then when Rico was using just logic, just plain logic against like on them and how we could make our community better, it didn't fit their narrative. It's like, oh no, that's because they're in a different culture. That's because they're of a different ethnic group. They was raised like that. But it doesn't fit their narrative when it comes to the man. So I don't get it, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. How am I wrong, or is this how y'all? I don't know. This was a good topic conversation for me. I might do this a little bit more. You feel me? Because I be triggered. You get what I'm saying? So let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Until next time, I'm out.